So the next one is the Kalingas. So they are they live on the drainage area of the middle of the Chico River, and okay, they are relatively known for more integrated territorial organization through peace pacts. So a Kalinga institution that has continued to survive modern times is the Badong. So it is a peace pact or treaty that governs the intertribal relations of two tribes. So it is described as the Magna Carta of the Kalingas. So in general, the Kalingas have a great respect for their elders. So their society is stratified into the Lawa or Kapus and the Baknang or wealthy. So among the signs of prestige and wealth are possessions of several rice fields, working animals, or heirlooms like china plates, jars, and jewelry and stuff. So on the Kadangyan, the class of Kadangyan or wealthy aristocrats, or the extremely poor Puyong, but these must be common classes among the mountain tribes because they were also present in the other groups. So some sources say that the Kalinga isn't clearly stratified in any Kalinga. So no matter how lowly his family origin, so they can arise to leadership even though you are from the poor. So the reason for rising, so one of the things if you are able to gain is by industrial economic stability, personal charisma, physical prowess, fair play, ability to talk sensibly with some sparks of wisdom and discretion. So in the Kalingas, no single leader claims full control of the affairs of his community. So there are leaders who take part in some ways, but their leadership is more cooperative and not wielded by a single person. So among the Buaya subgroup found in northern Kalinga, the leader is the Apu, who exercises influence over a cluster of settlements. So he is usually a Mambugas or Mumbagbaga, or a spokesman or spokesperson. A rich man and a Mengol or head taker is respected by the villagers. So in his role as village spokesman, he influence extends to other villages, so not that within his own. So there are other Kalina groups, so which is the Labuagan. So they are decision makers, which is the Pungats, and then Pangat, and then the Pangat achieves of course their status by being wealthy, personable, fair, and cooperative. So then another leadership role in the Kalinga is to be the holder of a peace pact or Magdon Sibodong. So in this one, it is if the nominee accepts the role. The difference, however, for renewals of pacts that have been, if the nominee accepts the role, the Pangas of the region where he belongs confirms the choice. So it is where he will check and to negotiate the establishment of the peace. So he is the one responsible for keeping peace with the other villages or the other community. So since for being this as Mangdon Sibodong, so you could be a female or a male to take that position. And then since government societies of course does not approve of killing, so head taking is no longer a requisite for being a pangat. So they are more usually comes from the affluent classes right now when observed in the community. So the next one is the Mandaya leadership. So they are found in the uplands of Davao from Moncayo to Governor Generoso. So they are closely related to other subgroups, which is the Mansaka, Mangwanga, Mangrangan, and Managosan, Magosan, and Pagsupan, and Divavawon, and Dibabwon. So their traditional governance has a strong leadership. So to make that tribal governance work, so it has to be accepted and respected by the community. So their customary laws are observed, and there are penalties imposed in order for it to be followed. So government system have little effects to these practices. So in some areas, so it is the elders who approve the holding of mangayaw to exact justice or revenge. So before the 19th century, Mandaya's leaders were the Likid, Bagani, and Maniklad. The Likid, also known as Mangkatong or Magtambagay, so they were old men. Magtambagay, of course, were old men who would be the advisors. So they would be the one to advise the people, and then they are the one to settle disputes among the villagers. So they were viewed as a man of wisdom, talent, and peace. And then, so the Bagani. So next to the Likid was the Bagani. So it is a younger village chieftain who ranked first in bravery and strength. So they usually come from a family of Baganis and serve as advisor for the Likid. And then the son of the Bagani could become a Bagani. The son of the Bagani could become a Bagani if he were able to kill at least 10 people to prove that he is a warrior. And so he should also be able to capture a number of children to serve as slaves. So next to the Bagani is the Maniklad. So he is the one who served as the Bagani's adjutant and stood in front of the Bagani during a tribal war. So it's more like assistant. And then, so the status of the Bagani depends on the individual's valor, fortitude, personal powers in warfare, and possession of magical religious powers of invulnerability. So being strong is what how they view of becoming a Bagani. So of course there have been changes also to how the Mandaya leadership are observed because of the Christianity and colonial rule and the government processes. And then now we got to talk about the leadership among the Mangyans. So it has been agreed upon that there are a different several Mangyan groups in the different name and different groups. So among the following are, in the PPT as you can read, are the Alangan until Tagyawan. So the Mangyan social organization and structure revolve around the network of family and kin who live closely one another. So the leadership are mostly observed in subgroups, and it is the elder, of course, who assumes the leadership roles, which are multifaceted. So the Alangan live around the Mount Halcon, and some are settlements near the Dulansan. And then they form local groups called Gado, which is a family group. The function of the Gado is both internal, handling moral, legal issues within the group, and external, political and legal. So it is the one, the old man, who will serve as the Kuyay, a function of caretaker. Is the one who keeps peace, and also for the community, like the agricultural rights. And then the next one is the Batangan, live in the forest of Mindoro, particularly in the southern tip of western Mindoro. So they are affiliated by consanguinity or affinity, which is, there is no titular head for each village, but there is a taker for the settlement known as a Danaama. So he merges so it is based on age, good records, and intelligence and financial sufficiency, just like in the previous previous leaders that took roles of leadership in the previous tribes that we have talked about. So there are different subgroups of the Mangyans, which is already put in the PPT. So the relationship between the different types of Mangyans is that they hold the same thing about leadership, which is, of course, the oldest one in the age, the status, the wealth, and the charisma, the intelligence, and to be able to be responsible for the community, not just in the political structure, but also religiously. So now if we talk about the Manobo. So Manobos are often considered the original Lumads, or the tribal people here in Mindanao. So there are about 300,000 Manobos in Mindanao, costing up to 20 distinct groups. So the Manobo word comes from the lowland Moro term, which is man or person, and then obo, which is hill or mountain. And then the Spanish usage of Manobo added the meaning of pagan. So they are widely dispersed IP in Mindanao and are found in Agusan, Surigao, Bukidnon, Davao, Cotabato. So another word for the Manobo is Mansuba or Manuvo, which is a people for which is a word for man, which is for people, and then Suba for river. River because the reference for the river people, for the word river people. So the next one is the third derivation is from Banobo. So it is the name of the creek that presently flows to Pulangi River about 2 kilometers below Cotabato City. So another one is man, meaning first or aboriginal, and tuvo, meaning growth. So it is the Manobo in the Hispanized form. So Manobo is a Hispanized form. So on the early account, the Manobo is essentially patriarchal, where the man takes part in the community on leadership roles. So it identifies their leader as the chief or warrior chief. So it must become from a good family. Of course, the age is sufficient, so he has the ability to, just like the other tribes, has the ability to speak well and ability to look at intricate points in a dispute, and generous, hospitable, and personal valor than the rest of the group. So in this one, the difference for being in the Mandaya is that in Manobo, you need to kill at least 5 people to become a chief. So because of the advent of the Christianity, this practice has been diminished, that requirement. So the chief has the role of being a priest in all concerns war, magician who can safeguard himself and friends from the enemies, and a medicine man who could help take care of the sick in this community, and a settler who be able to settle disputes, and a leader when it comes to expeditions in their community. So here it is not, according to Garvan in 1931, it is not clear whether he referred to Bagani here in the leader of the Manobo as being a chief or being a warrior. So but then in the Manobo, women have no political power, or I mean, have no role in public affairs, and there have been no women chief. So, but then most recent sources have stated that Paganis, most of them are men. But then, as of now, there are few women who participate in the actual fighting. So there are 4 classes in the Manobo, which is the Bagani, Bailan, Commoner, and Slave. So the Bagani class is the one who defended the community and went to battle. So they are the one who takes a leadership role in their community. And then the next one is the Bailan, which refers to a male or female priest and healer. So the next one are the commoners, which we will find there, the farmers. And then the last one is the slaves. So these are taken from raids from other village, or it could be there is who could not pay the penalty, but then they can be granted freedom if they have met the qualifications to be able to be freed. So the ethnographic account of the Kaliwat refers to the Dato. So it refers to the Dato as the leader of the Manobo. So the individual affidavits from Manobos themselves put together provide detailed descriptions of Manobo leaders. So Dato Manigaon, which is the elders of the community that serve as advisors, and Dato Manigaon. So It is an elder dato who ranks above than the ordinary one. So there has been conflicts of whether these titles continue to exist. So it has been stated that the Bagani is gone from the social class because of how the practice had been weakened in the contemporary times. But it has been indications that the Bailan and the Dato system are continuing traditions. But then there has been stated that the Bailan is a thing from the past. Then there have been an proof that it has been practiced up till now. So the next one is on how the authority of their leaders is practiced. It could be from not just from the one community, but then it could be a cluster of houses, or may extend to one territorial district, on how he have. So they have a smaller community to be able to foresee their society. So the many gowns are elders of the community who have the wisdom and experience to serve as teachers and advisors. So they are the one who also settles the disputes with the customs in accordance to customs, traditions, and practices of the Manobos. So it is the older dato, so a chief leader of the community. So it is over and above ordinary from the above the ordinary from an ordinary the ordinary dato. So they are composed of council of elders who are known as Pekilukesen. So Pekilukesen. So they are the one who would advise their leader on what to do with their organization. So Manobo women who earn the title Bai also have leadership roles. So it has been contradicted on how it's been stated that women have no roles in public affairs. One could become a Bai when they have a respect of the whole community and able to show that they can lead. So because of the barangay system, the role of the dato under leadership had been reduced of power and authority, because they have to now adjust to the new governance, new forms of governance. So it has been stated that only few datos have been able to enter the barangay council and have a confusion on how the traditions or customs are observed. So because of the worsening condition of the economic conditions, it has also weakened the traditional power of the dato. So now it has having a difficult situation time on how they exercise their power as of now, because of the contemporary governance. So the datos may have lost their leadership and respectability. So but then the Manobos continue to cling their traditions and claim that they still follow the Manobo system of running affairs of this community. So they are still following their customs, traditions of their ancestors, and still run their own government.